Yeah, first of all, I just want to say how excited I am for our guys. This is they put a lot of work to get to this point, and could not be more excited to be back in the NCAA tournament and having a chance to compete at the ultimate level against a great team. I have so much respect for Buzz Williams. He's an incredible coach. His teams are always well prepared, and it's one of the hardest playing grittiest teams that we will face all year. And you look at their numbers. I haven't watched a ton of them, obviously, just being in a different league and how consumed you get with what we're going through. But, they're the best offensive rebounding team in the country. And, they play extremely hard, like all of Buzz's teams do. Ernie Ziegler was in that league. Talked to him a little bit about what we're up against with this group, but could not be more thrilled for our guys. They're excited to get back to work tomorrow. We'll get a first look film session in the morning, get the guys a good lift session, and then come back and practice tomorrow afternoon. So just really excited about being back in at this time of year, and hopefully we go out and continue to play well.
What do you tell your guys about playing in the NCAA tournament? Obviously, that's something you did as a player. What do you tell them about just that experience and the heightened stage of that?
Yeah, it's just the excitement, and we don't have a lot of experience with our group with this time of year. Juwan played in it, got to the Sweet 16, played very well as a member of the team at Alabama, and Aaron Eulis is the other guy on our roster that has NCAA experience. Other than that, we got a lot of guys that will be experiencing this for the first time, and there's nothing like it. And we've talked about that over the course of the season when we had preparation in games that we had to win, and our guys stepped up to the challenge and got us to this point. So again, I give our guys all the credit in the world for giving us an opportunity to be here in this moment, because these are memories that they'll have for the rest of their lives. And I still talk about some of the games that I was fortunate to play in. I played against Kentucky the game before Leitner hit the shot that we see every commercial leading into the games, and we got beat by Kentucky 106-98 in the game, leading up to that game against Duke. My first NCAA tournament game we won. I had a dunk at the end of the game to help us, pull away and win by a couple possessions. And, I'll never forget that, and they can never take these away from you. And, here at Nebraska, this is the 8th time in the history of the program. We've had a lot of firsts this year with this team, and we're chasing another one. It's an opportunity now to go out and do something that has never been done in the history of the program for another opportunity to do something like that. So, just a special time of year, and again, it's why you're in this business.
I'm sure you can imagine the fan reaction to the matchup. Does that storyline have any impact?
It doesn't matter to me. Honestly, I thought they were going to put us in a bracket with Iowa State. That was a storyline that I thought that they were going to do. But listen, for us, for our guys, it's all about preparation. We could care less about any storyline, whatever it is. We just got to get to work and knowing that we are facing an incredibly tough basketball team that's really, really talented.
You mentioned Texas A&M's offensive rebounding. Does the fact that you just played Illinois, the best offensive rebounding team in the Big Ten, I'm sure that kind of helps prepare to what you're going to face here on Friday?
Well, and if you can find a way to get through this one, then you play Houston. So it's what our league is, though. I mean, we have tough physical teams. Again, going back to Coach Ziegler, he coached one of their players who's the best offensive rebounder in the country. And, he said that's who he is. He embraces that role, and he's incredibly good at it. So, it's what Buzz's teams have always done. They're so tough. They're so disciplined. And, again, I have so much respect for him, and, we know we're going to be in for a battle. But, listen, it doesn't matter who we're playing. I mean, we're going to play a great team at this time of year, and it's just all about the preparation now and putting a game plan together to hopefully give us a chance.
Do you see the guys respond well coming off that loss? I mean, the fact that turnaround selection Sunday right after that, have they turned the page?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I could tell we got delayed on the runway, and, those guys were back there. They were already, you could tell, past that game. And, listen, we got into the semifinals. We did a really good thing. We had some great moments in that Illinois game to get up 15. I saw they came back again today 3 times in a row now, coming back double-digit deficits. And, we just played a hell of a talented team, and they got hot, and we went a little bit cold. And the key to me from that game, when I went back and watched it, is we put them on the foul line. And that completely took our flow out of the game, where we had it rolling early in that first half. So, now it's about going out there. We'll have a cleanup like we always do. We're not going to prepare any differently than how we have all year, and go out and watch the things we need to do better from the Illinois game, and hopefully come out and execute for 40 minutes against a really talented team.
I know you didn't try to like how the second half went yesterday, but do you like how the defense overall, when you think back to like February to now, it's trending toward being a March type of, playing well in this type of thing?
Yeah, that second half, obviously we weren't very good on that end. You give up 58 points, and you give up an individual scoring record to a guy in Terrence Shannon in the tournament. And listen, he got to the line 16 times and made 5 threes, and you can't give him both. We can't make threes if he's getting to the foul line as well. And, there were some mistakes that were made. I thought we were vertical on a couple of those plays at the rim, but you can't expect to get those calls. You can't put yourself in a position to put it in the ref's hands at this time of year. So, leading into that, though, yes, I was very pleased with how we were defending and in rebounding. And, this team with A&M, they get 44% of their misses. That's unbelievable. We have not faced that. I think 42 is the best rate that we face. So 44% offensive rebounding rate is historic in its number. So, we're going to have to be really good and diligent with our blockouts and hopefully finish off possessions.
Looking kind of holistically, what has gone into now being in the tournament, taking the program from where it was when you got here to now the position it's in?
Yeah, it's, again, with where we were when we took over, 4 years ago to where we are now, I'm really pleased with the progression of where we are with the program. Everybody was downstairs hooting and hollering. I was up in my room by myself, and I'll be honest, I got a little emotional with it, with where we are right now, and being back at this time of year. It's what it's all about. It's why we came to Nebraska. This place means a lot to me. I'm very fortunate. I've been at 2 places in college basketball that mean the world to me. My alma mater, place I grew up, and now I'm back where I was born, and have a lot of family connections. So, to help get this program back and hopefully sustain it and be here for a long time, I'm really proud of that. And, we're in a position, again, to do some historic things. And, we've accomplished a lot of those this year. So, I'm really happy where we are as a program. And it was emotional for me, just as it was the first time I heard our name when we got called at Iowa State, when I was sitting up by myself, and we played the defending national champ UConn, and we're very fortunate to win that game, and then unfortunately lose to Kentucky in the next one. But this is why we came here, and hopefully we can be in this position a lot here moving forward.
Why did you want to watch it by yourself?
It's just how I've kind of done it, Amy. I get nervous. I have a heart condition, and it pounds pretty hard when I'm sitting in there, and I just wanted to be in there and kind of savor the moment. And the guys were down there; they were celebrating. I love it. I love that those guys got to do that as a group. And we got a lot of tough times ahead of us now to get ready for this game. But it was a good day. Not to have anything. I went back and watched our game, and then there was nothing to do. There was no prep, and just kind of had a lot of thought, a lot of reflection about where things are right now. And, tonight, as soon as I get out of here, I should have some games on my computer, and I'm going to dive in and try to help put a game plan together with our assistant coaches and, try to put something to give us the best chance to win this game, again, against a great team.
Did you care about it being the Friday game, or did you care about the Thursday, Friday things, or not?
I didn't. We played all different times. My very first one, we played at 9:45 p.m. on Friday, the last possible game. My last year at Iowa State, we played the 11 a.m. game on Thursday after winning the Big 12 tournament, which didn't go well. You shouldn't have to play a Thursday game after you win your conference tournament. But yeah, the good thing about this team, I think I mentioned this last week, is we have played every possible time that you can play. We played the 11 a.m., which basically was a 10 a.m. game. At Michigan, the last game of the year. We played 8:30 at Indiana, and we played 3 5:30 games in a row. So that helps. That's an advantage, I think, at this time of year, where when we lost at Iowa State at 11 a.m., it felt like we played every 8 o'clock game leading up to that, and then had the 3 emotional wins and then cut down nets. So, the fact that we played pretty much any time, any tip over the course of the last month, I think will help us regardless of what time we play on Friday.
How much do you think the experience in Big Ten, just with the fans being in the lobby and all that, will help your team and the neutral kind of?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I think I mentioned this about Casey. I mean, when he was going on his little run against Indiana, I don't think I'd ever see this. I saw a Michigan State guy chest bump a Michigan guy up in the crowd. An Ohio State guy, fell into a Michigan guy's arms. I mean, it was really cool. The Wild thing, right, Amy? Yeah, the Wild thing. Yeah. We got to get that guy to a game next year. But anyway, it was awesome to have, because I think he's one of those guys that you just fall in love with, and hopefully some of the other fan bases have seen some of that in all of our guys. I think we're an easy team to cheer for because of the character and the makeup of our guys. You got Josiah, who's always going around. He's one of the greatest kids I've ever been around. Rink has been around a long time, played on the world stage for his national team. Casey with his national team experience. So I don't think the stage is going to be too big for anybody out there. And, the fact that we just experienced it and had a win in the Big Ten tournament to get into the semis and hit a little adversity, that I think at the end of the day, maybe we'll look back on that and it helped at this time of year, because we'd gone through a pretty good stretch where we hadn't faced a lot of that. I think we'd won 8 of 9 going into the end of the season, and, you hit a little rough patch the last game against Illinois, and now we got to figure it out. Now we got to get better. And some of the things that happened to us are the strengths of this Texas A&M team. So we got to find a way to get right tomorrow, which we will. Our guys will bounce back. They'll prepare well, and hopefully go out and give ourselves a chance. Thanks, guys.
It's a little bit of relief, just knowing, how much has gone into this, starting back in June when we got most of the team together. But even then, obviously just the amount of guys that we added and then also didn't have, with Rink and Casey, and just kind of all the struggles we went through over the course of this season. And just, obviously like the heartbreak losses we had that were games that we really just kind of pissed away. But it's kind of a short-lived moment where it's like, feels good to, see it officially there, even though we've known for the better part of 2 weeks now that we were most likely in. But, now it's just like, okay, how do we get ready? But definitely, a bit gratifying just seeing it there.
For either of you, talk about having the same approach every game. What's the challenge of staying level, staying, keeping that same approach, not getting caught up in the moment on a stage like the tournament?
It's definitely a high-stakes game that we're going into. This past weekend was some high-stakes game, and feel like we've played a lot of must-win games throughout this season, especially this last month. So just sticking with what we know, sticking with the same preparation, same type of recipe for how we prepare, and I think that will help us kind of keep us level-headed and take away some of the nerves. But obviously, if you're not nervous, less excited for this game, then this is a great stage, great opportunity.
Obviously at this time of year, there's no slouches left. Even like those low 16, 15, 14 seeds that really had to get out the mud out of their conference tournaments. They show that they can win consistently. In the biggest moments and pull it out. And just, even with, like yesterday NC State beat North Carolina for their 5th game in 5 days, and I think, they made it in as like an 11 seed or something, 11 seed or 12 seed, and it's like that's supposed to be the bad team that just beat a genuinely like pretty fresh North Carolina team on its 5th day, and so like there's really no days or any kind of you can't underestimate anybody, and it is do or die, and so everyone's going to be excited and everyone's going to be ready to go for these next few days leading up to A&M.
Fred said he was in his room watching it and got a little emotional. Could you tell how much this meant to him? He's built this up for 5 years to try to get to this point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with me, it's like my first year back, but just being from the city, every time I come back and just following the team, you just see a lot of stuff online, talking about the program and Coach Hoiberg, and I know just how challenging it's been for him to try to figure it out and just deal with not always the nicest things said about him or the team, and so for him to finally get the right pieces to kind of play and do the things that he's wanted and do it the right way. I just know how much that means to him to finally have some bit of kind of relief with the amount of time and investment he's put into this.
Yeah, you could definitely see it like touched him. He's been here. He's invested a lot of time and effort into this program, and to finally see it pay off, I'm sure that's an amazing feeling for him. He's a very even keel person. You don't see that many emotions up or down with him, which is something that has definitely helped us throughout this season. But you could definitely see today that it meant a lot to him. So that's pretty cool.
The fan base is pretty fired up about your guys' matchup, just considering you're athletic directors now at that school. Does that mean anything to you guys?
Well, we're not playing the athletic director. We're playing the men's basketball team. That's what we'll be focused on, and I know for the fans that this will mean a little bit extra. But yeah, like I said, we're not playing the athletic director. We're playing the team. We're playing those guys, and that's what we'll be focused on.
Yeah, Trev was. Obviously we don't deal with anything behind the scenes, outside of the court. But he was always good to us, any interaction we had, and I was a part of like the SAC like group or whatever, the advisory committee, and he was always like a genuine like good dude, and so there's no ill will with us players, and I know that the fan base obviously has very different feelings to that, but we're just trying to approach this as it's another matchup, and we got to take care of business.
Won't let it be a distraction.
Yeah.
Distractions. Let's
Just
not
focus on
let
ball.
that influence us. Just exactly. Focus on ball.
What do you guys know about Texas A&M?
I personally don't know a whole lot. I've seen some games in the past from them, but this year I've not really followed them that much. Obviously, once you're playing, you're hearing some stuff about how well they rebound, but also how they're not very good at defending the three, which is one of our strengths. So I feel like it's a game of who can play better towards their strengths and who can adjust and mitigate the other team's strengths. And we'll definitely do a whole lot of rebounding drills this upcoming week. I know that's been some of our struggle this season, so we know that and we know how to work on it, and we'll hopefully be ready for it.
Yeah.
Just said Texas A&M leads the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. You guys just faced Illinois, who was the #1 offensive rebounding team in the Big Ten. How much do you think that will prepare you just for the level of physicality you'll need to bring to match up with them?
It is. Obviously it's very unfortunate the way that unfolded, but it's nice that the last game we played was, a slap in the face, just in terms of, how we got beat. Like that's going to be fresh in everybody's minds that we lost. We didn't play for a championship today because we couldn't keep them off the glass. And so it's kind of nice that, the poor outcome has, that kind of flip side to it. And yeah, it's just going to be about, how badly everybody wants it. Because there's not a lot of scouting you can do when it's just going to be, they're coming. Like, they're crashing.
Ball goes up, they're coming.
Yeah, like the game's going to be won on the glass. Like they don't shoot it well from three, but they're going to go get their misses. And so, the coaches can, maybe scout their most likely path to the rim. But at the end of the day, it's going to be, man on man, are you going to nut up and get it done?
Just last night, Javon was pretty hurt that he couldn't be out there doing fouling out.
Yeah.
How is his leadership going to be, and then also NCAA tournament experience going to play a role next week?
Juan always does a great job for us, just setting that tone on the glass, and just, on that defensive end overall. And, obviously, you got to see it, just emotionally, just how much he cares and, wants to be there for us. And so, just kind of knowing that, having that poise and, that experience playing, obviously in a completely different venue than we've been anywhere close to today or this year, against a team we've never played against. It's definitely something that we'll be able to rely on. And, he always does a good job just sharing his thoughts, whether it's in the timeout or halftime. And so, I know guys will be looking to him for some leadership in that aspect.
Ray, Coach said that you're an easy team to cheer for. What do you
Yeah.
think he means by that?
I think we have a lot of guys with good character that play the right way and want to share the ball. We've definitely shown that we got guys that are unselfish, and I feel like, I personally love teams that share the ball and make the extra pass and want to play for each other and win together. And this is for sure a team that does that really, really well. And with Casey, Casey is electric, so a lot of people will be cheering for him, and this team in general, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Players?
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Andy.